Welcome back to the Xfinity Desk, and join with me once again, Tom T-Squared Taylor.
Oh man, I can't believe that we saw such a stomp coming out from CLG. I was definitely expecting Optic to come up, but the thing is those first two series, really one-sided. I am not expecting match number 3 and 4 to be the same way.
And during the interview, we just wanted to say, I am not actually disappointed in Snakebite as an individual, just would have loved to see a double goose.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely insane. I don't recall ever seeing a double goose on such a live stage like this, so that would have been pretty epic. Either way, Optic needs to go back to the drawing board. If you're an open team, you're definitely looking at that series and saying, hey, if I face CLG, if they're searching Arena and I play against them, all I need to do is compare these games to the ones that they played against Optic Gaming and see if we can beat those scores 100-0. Not that hard to beat.
And you are correct there. And of course, we do have the article of the week as well. This is going to be the Halo HCS is alive and well. And of course, it's going to be that ESPN article touching base on everyone that's contributing to the league here and how, essentially Halo's kind of making a comeback.
Yeah, very well written article. Great to see ESPN getting involved. Love to see the 3-4-3 interaction with the pro players. They're doing their best to make sure things are as fair, competitive, and balanced as possible. And that's what Halo's been about ever since Halo 1, since I can remember. So big shout out to all of those guys. If you haven't seen the article, go check it out.
And of course, that we've seen 2 matches here so far. Of course, we've got 2 more left here tonight. And I think, based on yesterday, if you take that EG Renegade series, that's already been longer than the first 2 series that we've seen tonight. But one thing I expect to be a lot different is going to be this matchup right now of Enigma6 going up against Team Allegiance. Team Allegiance has been revitalized and kind of going on their own little win streak here, proving that they are one of the top contenders in the HCS.
Yeah, taking going all the way to Game 5 with Envy yesterday. E6 just as a formidable as opponent as Envy. Let's see what Allegiance can end up doing today. They were ahead in that series 2-1 yesterday, ended up losing it 3-2.
Yeah, so not exactly a win streak, but considering how they started off, definitely a huge improvement for them. Taking a look at the E6 roster, we have none other than Hook, one of the most dominant players we've currently had the privilege of watching in Halo 5, followed up by his teammate on Denial at World Championships, that's Boo Boo Dubu, who's also showcased some great things, followed up by their in-game leader, Shooter, and of course the most vocal player on the team, one that I love watching and just waiting to see what comes out of his mouth. That's going to be Kratos.
Yeah, and I want to see, we've had some requests from the forums to give Shooter a little bit more love. I think that when we start this series, I want to kick it off with him and see what he's doing. But let's take a look at the other team. That's going to be Team Allegiance that they're going against. And Team Allegiance, they've been pretty strong when it comes to doing the objective work, especially once they picked up Hines. Contra and Predevenator obviously placed top 4 at the Halo World Championships. Who are their teammates? Huke and Boo Boo Dubu. So it's a pretty interesting matchup that we have here. Ryan Noob has been competing since 2010 in Halo 3. One of my favorite teammates, always willing to do the objective. And then Hines replaced Goofy on the roster during the transfer period, and that's when we've seen Allegiance really step it up. But as you were saying, Kratos is the guy that is super vocal, the out-of-the-game leader here for Enigma6, and there he is, placed 2nd at the Halo World Championships. X Games bronze medalist on that team with Naded, L-Town, and Suspector before. His name is based on the God of War character Kratos, so obviously likes destruction.
And that was an awesome game as well. I definitely played through that campaign. Kratos finding the most success by far that he's ever had in Halo with Halo 5, so it's a good time to really step it up and start to shine. He's done absolutely ridiculous things. He was playing out of his mind yesterday. Saw a lot of awesome things from this guy, so I'm definitely looking for an intense grudge match coming up and something that will hopefully or certainly not be another 3-0.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not expecting a 3-0 by any means, and let's take a look at the game types. It's going to be Eden Strongholds to start. Slayer on Plaza, CTF Coliseum, the Rig Strongholds, and then Truth Slayer. When I look at this first game type, that heavily favors E6. They're 5-1, 83% win percentage on Eden Strongholds. And then you look at Allegiance, 1-4, that's 20%. So heavily favored in this first game, that would be E6. But when we look at the rest of these, pretty even from the rest on out.
And, going into should Allegiance be able to take one of these first 3 games, Strongholds on the Rig, that is one that is extremely in favor of Enigma6. They're currently 6-2, 75% win rate on that map. So, you know, that's kind of the exact opposite of what we've seen from CLG, where it's their weakest. We're looking at this as one of Enigma6's strongest.
Yeah, so in these two Strongholds game types in Eden and the Rig, overall, they're 11-3. That's pretty darn impressive when you look at the competition that they're going against here in the HCS Pro League. So obviously they're on point when it comes to their communication, on their strategy, on every single level, because Eden Strongholds is one of those game types, as we saw from CLG against Optic, requires some of the most teamwork orientated rotations, so many different things and so many levels to this game type.
And let's not forget that last time these two teams matched up was in week 2, and that was Allegiance 3-0ing Enigma6 with Goofy on the roster as well. So Enigma6 definitely coming out with something to prove here. We've talked about how they are really momentum-based team, and that kind of proved it in week 2 when they fell so short to Allegiance. But Enigma6, after that CLG victory, they are looking to come out strong and prove that they are not only second best, but maybe one of the best teams here in the league. We do have the players getting set up in the game, so let's go ahead and take a look at Eden here. T-Square, tell us about this map.
Yeah, you have Blue Bend, which we're looking at. You also have top catwalk. The camo has been moved into security. It's no longer on that little ledge there. Rockets outside. The overshield not in favor of the red team anymore. It's now placed in the pit. So very evenly matched game type. It really comes down to who's going to be able to control this catwalk, and we see Shooter making his way towards the catwalk, fighting Ryanoob. Ryanoob doesn't really have any help. I'm curious to see if it is any help on the camo side, but either way, really love the way Shooter's slow playing this one, making his way towards the catwalk, getting hit. That was Boo Boo Doo cleaning up Hines behind him, so they should be able to control this one, getting that catwalk. The popular spawns are on that blue platform, so they do have to watch out for that. If they can capture this and they can capture Red Nest, that is the ideal setup in this game type, and that's what they have so far with the camo as well.
And not only that, but Boo Boo Doo somehow stays alive with that camo, and that is worst case scenario here to get this one started for Allegiance, because he was so close to being taken out. Rockets, as you can see in the kill feed, is in the favor of Allegiance as well, so still a good opportunity for them to try to bring this one back. But as it stands, E6 off to a great start.
Yeah, Shooter doesn't have any grenades, which would be ideal here for when they do go for Red Nest, and as you can see, the rest of E6 chucking nades over there. I do like this play by Kratos to go and try to charge at that point, but he could have even potentially sat back towards the Red Nest. No one from the side of E6 was able to get towards the blue bend yet, so if Shooter doesn't defend this, this is going to be the first points that we see from Allegiance, and that's okay. I still like that Shooter isn't really overextending here and holding this. I don't think he realizes that everyone has gone outside, so now it looks like the rest of Allegiance is going to rotate over there towards Blue Bend, because E6 rotated because they did have the security control, and that's why it's so important to hold that area.
And we got a 1v1 going up against Hook here. Predevinator, great shots, taking down Hook there, and now securing or helping keep this Red Nest. Now they're not able to grab any time yet, but it starts with a couple kills if you're looking to grab any kind of control here, and now great positioning, put some shots down on catwalk.
Yeah, but unfortunately for him, he's out of ammo, gonna have to look for a long-range weapon, can't really find it. There's the battle rifle. They do have security control, and the rest of E6 is spawning towards Blue Plat. Shooter does get that kill on Contra. That was a pretty big kill to stop that guy from going over there towards the Blue Bend. But either way, Allegiance is now finally capturing. They have that catwalk, have that Red Nest, overshield and camo coming up really shortly. So whoever wins this battle over towards the pit will be in prime position, and Contra has a really good flank, knows that overshield's coming up. Is he gonna be able to get it on time? Has two players in front of him. Are they gonna be able to turn on him? That's Kratos, no shields. The other player was no shields as well. That was Shooter, so that should give them an advantage here. They are capturing. They are going for the rockets with the overshield. That's Kratos making his way over towards Blue Bend. They are also going for this triple cap if they can get these guys out of catwalk. Fantastic double kill with that rocket. Really sick play from Kratos. That will secure the triple cap for him.
And there was just a sliver away from capturing that catwalk, and he gets basically a 2-for-1 with these rockets. And once two of your teammates die, Predevinator being a little bit overzealous, thinking that he's going to be able to actually secure that. Kratos just thrusting across the map, still has a little small hint of overshield left. That will now go out as well, but he's still got one rocket here.
Kratos pretty much playing it perfectly besides right there, but he still does get the best of Devin right there. I'm surprised that Devin didn't try to get the ninja. They are just going to give up Blue Bend. Allegiance trying to stop the bleeding here because they are showing such great map control. Kratos, I love the way he got really aggressive, knew that the priority was catwalk, knew that he had to come around here, and he's just going to sit there and be annoying, try to force this triple cap while everybody for the side of Allegiance makes their way outside towards the Red Nest.
And no one's really in position. You see them now knowing Blue Bend is being captured. They're trying to come back and contest this. Good job here by Allegiance. Allegiance end up taking out a couple players. They're not going to be able to reinstate this triple cap here quite yet. Hook dying to Contra. Contra still alive, hiding. They're able to control Blue Ben, but I mean, just they're on the defense here when they don't actually have control.
Yeah, being stuck at blue, it's great in Slayer, but it's really not that great when it comes to Strongholds. The ideal setup is to hold Red Nest and Catwalk. At least Heinz is able to capture the Catwalk. I'm not really sure how he was able to do that, but now they're making their way over towards the Red Nest and double capping this together. So someone from the side of E6 was a little out of position. Maybe they got a little overzealous in going for that triple cap. That left the rest of the map kind of wide open. So E6 now has to just control this blue bend and try to get back control of the Catwalk.
It looks like Catwalk will go ahead and get reset as well. Rockets are going to be in the hands of Allegiance. You see Enigma6 trying to push over and keep at least control of this bend, but right now Ryan with those rockets putting some hurt down here.
Yeah, and he doesn't know exactly when the overshield was up. It was a little delayed. Kratos did grab that last time, so E6 knows exactly when it's coming up. They are going to be able to finally start capturing after a nice little push coming out from Allegiance. It looks like Camo's going to go over to Boo Boo Doo Boo. Kratos has the rockets. Ryan is trying to push his way over there, but it looks like Kratos doing a really nice play with these rockets. He knows how to play it. He has really nice map movement. He's also really strong when it comes to the mechanics of Halo 5. And I think that what E6 does a really great job of is sharing their knowledge with one another about what they know about the game. And I would say, when it comes to, we quote-unquote say nerdy things they like to do, I would say that they do the nerdiest things in the game.
And taking a look at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, you do see Kratos' stats in the game. So he's obviously found a lot of success here on this team. Great job of rockets and assists, or excuse me, kills and assists, and great use of these rockets as well as he hits yet another one. And Red Nest will fall over to Allegiance, but is it going to be too little too late as they're going to refocus their attention trying to get this nest, or excuse me, the bend?
What's really nice from E6 was that they didn't really over pursue that. They got the slays and just maintained map control, but what they weren't expecting from Allegiance is a little swoop around outside. It seems like Allegiance really likes to hold outside. I would like to see them more involved in holding security, but the thing is rockets are coming up soon, so it's okay to actually have this positioning for now, and you're also capping, so it's okay for them. It's just a matter of, can they actually hold off E6 this entire time, because E6 only needs 11 more points to win this game.
It looks like Red Nest player from Enigma6 will fall. You've got Ryan Noob trying to push over and help at Catwalk, but he's taken out from behind with Hook. The new overshield will be up shortly as well, so you want to see both teams kind of focusing on that, but now control back in the favor of E6.
And instead of going for the reset, the communication was so on point that Shooter decides that he wants to go over and clean up Heinz. Something to keep in mind is that the power-ups are coming up really shortly, and everybody from the side of E6 knows when those are coming up, so Kratos picks up that overshield. The camo's coming up really soon, and it looks like Shooter's going to go for this blue bend here. If they just get 5 more points, they're going to win, and they have the overshield. So as long as they can just keep everybody from Allegiance out of this catwalk, they're going to be able to lock this one down, and it seems like that's exactly what they're trying to do. It looks like Kratos trying to charge in and contest. It's only a sliver away. Shooter getting a really nice double kill, and that's going to be the game. Game 1 going over to E6. Really impressive map movement and teamwork and rotations the entire time.
And they heavily outslayed Allegiance this game. Taking a look at the stats, you see Hook and Kratos, and man, Hook must have been doing work because Kratos picked up a lot of rocket kills that game as well.
For sure.
He could have had probably a lot more kills, but he was being absolutely the anchor for his team, just hanging out in those bases with those rockets, trying to make sure, or preventing Allegiance from really being able to kind of sneak behind him and go for any counter caps on those strongholds. On the other end, Allegiance, Heinz, still kind of consistent with the rest of his team on kills, but his objective, 6 captures, well above and beyond anyone else here on Allegiance.
Yeah, you saw him go over there, sneak the catwalk, doing a nice job of giving what is taken to him. The alarming stat, if I'm an Allegiance fan, is that yesterday in their series against Envy, even though they were winning those objective games, they were outslaying them in the games that they won. And they're not outslaying E6 by any way, shape, or form, and they're not doing any more objective than they're doing. So they're going to have to reset, focus on this upcoming Slayer game, and see where they can go from there.
And with this Slayer game coming out, and it is in fact going to be Slayer on Plaza as well, give me some kind of predictions here of what you expect to see.
I think that Allegiance is actually pretty strong at this game type. I think Ryan Noob knows how to play it really well, and the rest of the guys fit this pretty well. I think that, was it the game 5 yesterday? I think that they lost to Envy in this game type. I'm not really sure if I remember exactly, but I think that it's always good to come back and try to reset here. And thankfully for them, it's a Slayer in game 2. I wouldn't say that it is an advantage either way. I would say that if I had to give it to anybody, though, I'd say Allegiance has a good opportunity to walk away with this one.
I'm pretty sure it was game 5, and they ended up bringing it back all the way to like 3 kills. I think 39-36 almost at one point in that game. They picked up a snipe and then lost control. So, I'm going to take the other end there and put this in favor of Enigma6. Both teams are 1-1 on this game time, so both 50% win rate. Somebody's going to pick up an extra loss.
Yeah, and this series isn't going to be over even if, say, E6 wins this game too. Allegiance has a lot on the line here. The last thing that they're going to do is give up, especially because they've been playing so well. And they did go up 2-1 in the series against Envy today. A different story because they are now behind in this series. So curious to see what kind of resiliency they're going to show. It's going to show a lot about what their actual mental stamina is too at the same time. So the big thing is the start of the game. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to get these overshields and just constantly be in position to get the overshield, which means they're going to have to control Nest. They're going to have to get S4, hold top gold, and try to trap E6 in yard. But the thing that E6 really excels in is rotations with the sniper rifle. Even though that they may be having people for Allegiance going over towards the Nest, people like Kratos will say, okay, I'm fine with doing a setup over here and sniping at the glass area and have all of my teammates be in sneaky little spots to cover my back. And you can't really say that about all the other teams here.
And I would say Enigma6 is the most similar to Counterlogic Gaming in their ability to rotate those weapons. We've yet to really see anyone make any real crucial or game-changing mistakes like we've seen from all the other teams besides Counterlogic Gaming.
Something that Allegiance was doing yesterday in Plaza that they need to make sure they don't do in this game is not anchoring snipe side. They need to make sure they have someone like Contra who's always S4. He needs to stay S4 and communicate to his teammates that he needs someone else over on his posters watching that loop area. Expect to see another setup where guys are at top dip. Ryan loves going to that hotel area on that little awning ledge, so I'm expecting a lot of that this game. That's what they need to do to win.
But we've got the players ready. Let's go ahead and take a look at Plaza Slayer. This is going to be game 2, 50 kills to win. Of course, we all have a camo spawning top center, overshield spawning top center, and kind of the sniper rifle on the map, of course, as well. Be really back and forth. We saw great things from Allegiance before, but like we said, Shooter hasn't been getting as much love as we might want to see, so let's go ahead and kick things off with him once more and see where he's pushing off to start this game too.
And this is a nice little push here. You can't send more than one guy here, so he likes to go over here to make sure they can shoot anyone jumping top center from the truck area. He can also land shots on anyone coming for the flowers, so I do like this, and I also like that he's just playing patient because we'll see a lot of people in that position. They don't see anyone, and they immediately charge towards the dip area, and that's a really vulnerable spot. Instead, he elects to go and grab that battle rifle, come back around towards the yard, picks up 2 kills so far, and also has the noob combo. So really loving the way that Shooter's playing this one. However, Contra does have the sniper rifle.
All right, so what you feel on the plasma pistol here, or you want to go over and check out the sniper?
We definitely should check out the sniper because Contra, like I said, is the main guy that needs to hold down snipe control for this team. So I want to see how he's going to play this one, and I also want to see how slow E6 plays this because they're one of the teams, as you can see, they don't have any control, and they're already not giving up dumb deaths. They're just sitting there and setting up, waiting for their opportunity to push, whether they get a pick and wait for anyone from Allegiance to make a mistake, or wait for the next overshield that's coming up and just wait to get a pick at that point. So love the actual discipline coming out from E6, and it seems like Allegiance doing the same thing.
And you're absolutely correct. It is discipline from these players that makes them so successful, although they start pushing out. Contra rips Hook's face right there, picks up another body shot, gets an assist with the help of Ryan Noob's frag nades. Now he's pushing to try and contest poster stairs.
Ooh, has the battle rifle, has the height advantage, and Kratos still lays down the shots to take out Contra. That was a really big kill. Contra getting that snipe on Hook was also pretty big, but the fact that Kratos was able to trade kills and at least get the sniper out of Contra's hands. Yeah, Devin still is a really great sniper, probably the second best sniper on the team, but we saw what Contra can do when it gets in his hands.
And he is just sitting here up at posters. He knows essentially all of Enigma6 is over by Spiral and in yard. Picks up another headshot already, but as you can see in the kill feed, several more members dying for Enigma6.
Yeah, and you can see Devin is like, oh, we forgot to anchor. I need to go back. So he decides he wants to go and nade the spawns, nade the lift. The thing is, though, now these players are completely in solid position for the side of E6. They just need to spread out and get control of yard and then push from all these different angles. So Kratos laying down some shots, but Devin takes his face off, gets the Guardian Angel medal as well. That's going to be the overshield spawning here pretty shortly. Let's see what happens. Devin just staying alive with the sniper. Only 2 bullets left and a totally different start to this game for Allegiance.
And it looks like OS will go in favor of Enigma6 here, but he gets taken out almost instantly. Hook falling there without picking up a kill. But just like that, it was initially a decent-sized lead, but now 13-10 already.
Yeah, I love the way that Devin was playing that one. He was anchoring. He was realizing the mistakes that they were making. So they're definitely more on top of it than yesterday. The thing is E6 is just a formidable opponent, as I was saying, as Envy. So you got to expect not to make any more mistakes. You can't give up any type of map control. They did give up the overshield. Fortunately, Devin was able to pick up that back smack onto Huke, but Kratos over here top yellow laying down some shots. He's going to get shot from the side. That was a player from the hotel. Is going to see another player coming here from the loop. He was weak, so Devin able to clean that one up. Back and forth here with the kills. Hines spotted out by Huke. Perfect shots coming from him. The first time we've seen Huke's point of view today, and he's just a monster. You can just see the way that he's running through people, completely confident, but that nade's not going to kill Devin, and he gets taken out.
And Boo Boo Doo Boo, however, has the new sniper, quickly running to his teammates. They are kind of rotating or flipping the map, so he's got the sniper back in yard. We talked about this before the game started. You need to be able to rotate these weapons well, and besides CLG, Enigma6 is the team that does it best.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were talking about. We were saying E6, if they find themselves in a situation where they need to rotate, they're going to go and get out of there, and they actually have setups, and they have a plan for these type of situations. They also have someone that's going to continue to anchor. So when you give these guys a little bit of room, you're going to get heavily punished. So if you're Allegiance, you got to take a page out of the E6 book and just set up here, not get any dumb deaths, get these picks right here, and then play extremely aggressive when you have opportunities in numbers. Overshield is coming up. I think that was picked up around 40-second mark by Huke. So I'm going to go and switch through on this other side and see what's going on. Boo Boo Doo Boo sitting there holding the sniper and lands the body shot. That's a really nice double body shot. Decides to thrust back. Really curious to see why he decided to come back. And it looks like Hines is able to pick up the overshield. So let's see what's going on from Hines' point of view when we get this up and make sure that he does the right thing with it. He's going over here towards the back wall and is making his way over towards the barrel, which is over there in the hotel. So I really like this play. He needs to get aggressive on this, maybe even take out his assault rifle. He doesn't realize there's a player crouching around the corner. That's going to be Shooter. Finally spots him out. So Hines busts out that SMG. Shooter going for the stick. So I really like the way that Shooter's playing that, doing his best to stay alive. Hines did have the overshield, so advantage to him, but Hines doing the right thing. When you have the overshield, you don't want to sit back. You want to play aggressive. Killing spree for him, and that is looking really good for Allegiance fans.
And he's going to pick up yet another kill, so starting to build up this lead for his team. Take a quick peek at the stats. Hines 745, kind of consistent stats across the board for the whole team, and they're just quickly collapsing on Enigma6. They're not giving him any breathing room.
Ooh, Hines needed to win that battle to keep the killing spree going. That could be the momentum shift that the side of E6 needed, but Devin does have this Hydra launcher, has full ammo in it as well. A player was behind him on the radar. I don't think that he saw him. That's someone with the SMG. That's going to be Kratos coming up and getting the kill. Doesn't elect to pick up the Hydra, decides that he wants to stick with that SMG BR combo for now, but says, where is that Hydra? I can't find it. I'm just going to reload instead. Looking for Ryan, who was one shot. Pretty shocked he wasn't able to kill that one, but Ryan going for the other Ryan. That's going to be Shooter. Gets taken out by Ryan, and there's going to be Devin going down to an SMG kill at the same time, so kills getting traded back and forth. Kratos doing his best just to stay alive, but there are people dropping on him from every different angle.
And there's a lot of action. I really like what we just saw out of Kratos. Good map rotations. Hook then coming up, picking up a double kill and closing this gap again, and we might see some Hook ripping faces now. Yeah,
so Hook gets the sniper rifle. Overshield is coming up really soon. E6 is down 6 kills, so this is their opportunity to actually make some sort of comeback here. If Allegiance is able to secure the overshield or at least burn it, that's going to be a big win for them. Another big win is that Hines was able to kill Kratos over there on that snipe side, so Hugh finding himself in a little awkward situation where he has the sniper rifle and his teammates die all around him, needed to land that no-scope in order to try to bring E6 back.
And Predevinator now is going to be the one to grab that sniper, so we'll take a look through his eyes. Hook being a little bit over-aggressive. I know where his head was at. He was trying to contest the overshield, but too many people calling him out, and everyone starts to collapse on him. Those are one of the times you'd like to see that sniper player run away.
Yeah, and Allegiance has a really nice setup. They're up 9. They only need 11 more kills. You have Rhino, who's actually over there in the cafe. You have Contra sitting there going towards the loop. They don't really need to play aggressive on this, but he does end up getting a nice Storm Rifle kill and a nice bait and switch. So E6 wasn't expecting that push. I don't think I was either. I was expecting to kind of sit back with the snipe and look for angles, but a nice little coordinated push from the two guys of Devin and Contra is going to be able to push this lead to 10 kills now.
And that was a lot better than what we saw from them yesterday. They just overcommitted to the fights after picking up several kills. And this time, the exact opposite. You got Predominator rotate back to snipe spawn, regain control. You want to make sure Enigma6 is not getting split spawns.
And this is exactly what I was talking about, how Ryanoob likes to go and sit there over on the awning. This gives Devin a really good opportunity to go anywhere that he wants with the sniper rifle. And another really important thing is never really being too stationary with the sniper. So I like that he's making some moves here. Only has a couple shots in his pistol. Don't think he knows that he has to reload. So curious to see what he's going to do here. He's going to go for a no-scope onto Hugh. Lands that one in the body. However, his teammates fall. That's going to be Boo Boo Doo Boo and Shooter picking up some kills on Contra and Hines.
And 5 shots in that pistol, Tom. That's all you need to take somebody out. He's so confident in his ability to perfect someone he doesn't need to.
Yeah, and nobody is on that snipe side. So even though he did rotate, now Contra's left over there by himself, who just spawned over in the hotel. So even though he did get out of that same position, he still didn't have anyone that anchored, and it looks like those guys ended up charging to the other side and dying. However, they do only need 6 more kills, and the overshield's coming up soon.
And look at this great positioning here from Enigma6, and then collapsing on the Allegiance member with the sniper who knows he has it. He's looking for that weapon. Now he's got it back. He was a little over-aggressive before. Look to see him turn this around.
Yeah, this one isn't over yet because of the fact that everyone from Allegiance just ended up dying, and then E6 has really good power weapon control with Hugh with that sniper and with that overshield coming up really soon. I'm not sure if anyone was able to grab that, but Hugh either way landing some really nice shots. Only down 7. I'm not sure if it's still there. It does look like it's up because people are grenading it. That's going to be Contra being taken down by another snipe. And if I'm Allegiance, I got to slow this down because there's only 3 minutes left in the game. They need to, again, take a page out of E6's book and be like, man, I'm not popping out.
Patience is a virtue, and you do not want to throw this lead. Hook quickly taken to no shields, but he's got protection from his teammates. But nades being thrown in from everywhere. And Hook, great heads-up play. I thought that was going to be a headshot. Ends up just being a body shot. But
and he goes into that nice little sneaky legend, just takes out the snipe, gets another body shot, gets that killing spree. It's only a 5-kill game now, make it 6. That kill that Ryanoob ended up getting on Kratos was pretty big because now they only need 3 more kills. 2.5 minutes left. Curious to see if they're going to continue to play aggressive for this one and try to finish it out, or just play it by the time. Hugh is out of sniper ammo, so that's not going to be too good for E6. However, he still is on a spree and is still looking for more blood.
I mean, this game is still anybody's to take, but it is good positioning and a great situation here to be in for Allegiance, especially considering E6 has no sniper ammo left. I don't think Hoop knows a player is hiding here on posters, but he ends up taking out Kratos and escaping with his life. Kind of going for a challenge, but Boo Boo Doo Boo now with the sniper.
Yeah, Boo Boo Doo picks up that snipe. He had a really nice flank towards the bottom. I thought he was in a position where he could have got collapsed upon, but instead just played it sneaky like Boo Boo Doo Boo does. Shooter getting a kill onto Predominator with the barrel, but they only need 1 more kill. Boo Boo Doo Boo looking for the snipe. He's kind of out of position, so everyone needs to reset. They need to communicate here, back off, set up in glass like I was talking about, because they can't afford to even give 1 kill to Allegiance, or this series is going to be tied at 1.
And they will absolutely need this new overshield that's getting ready to spawn as well. 49 kills. This would be a nice little comeback that we see.
I like this play. I can't believe nobody from the side of Allegiance was looking at that overshield. He also has an SMG as well, and there's multiple players collapsing on him. He still does have more overshield, so Ryanoob is taken down pretty weak. He's just crouching around that corner. Will that melee do it? It will. It's 46-49. This one's not over yet, Kyle.
And with the sniper, Hotel 2 players there. And that 47, if that player is able to stay alive now, it looks like there's another player hiding bottom of the snipe lift, so that player essentially had no chance of escaping. Taking a look at the stats here, Ryanoob going big for his team, sitting at 16-11. Pretty consistent assists across the board. And on the other end, looks like Kratos was really the one struggling this time around.
Yeah, Kratos with that 7 and 17. Stats mean a little bit more in Slayer than they do in objectives. -10, only losing by 3. He was also that last kill in the end. Maybe just trying to overextend too much. Maybe trying to help his teammates a little bit too much. From what we were saw, it looks like he was playing pretty well, but sometimes when you're playing against such good competition, that sometimes things just don't go your way.
Sometimes you just get the short end of the stick, and that can absolutely happen. You know, sometimes just coming off spawn, getting stuck by cross-map nades, just shot in the head. You know, lots of things that can happen and affect stats. Why you can't just necessarily look at one game. It all plays a factor, but overall, a lot of great things from Enigma6, but we've got ourselves our first interesting series of the day.
I mean, that was almost a must-win for Allegiance and Allegiance fans because you don't want to go down 2-0 in the series. Then that's when those thoughts start creeping into your head. You know, Allegiance needs this series. They need to win this series, and they also need to, you know, pretty much hope that Renegades ends up dropping their upcoming series as well. Only 3 more matches left in the entire HCS Pro Summer League, so every match means pretty much double.
And with how strong Allegiance has been with the recent roster swap, they need to kind of continue that momentum, and they fell short last night on that map. It looks like they were able to work out the kinks. I'm sure they're regretting that one now. If they had just a little bit more preparation maybe yesterday, they would have been able to take down Envious, but now from here on out, they do need to win every game.
Yeah, and this next game is going to be CTF Coliseum, so it's pretty much anyone's game. Rynoob also really dirty when it comes to the objective. Heinz as well. So I said it before, I think Allegiance was going to win that game too. My prediction is that they will win this game 3, but keep in mind they did go up 2-1 against Envy yesterday and dropped the series. So not a really must-win game for either team here, but it is the swing game in the series. Most important game pretty much next to game 5.
All right, we've got the players ready here, so we're not going to waste any time. Jump right into capture the flag on Coliseum. Now, overall, so you're giving this one over in favor of Allegiance, but what I do want to bring up as well, that essentially capture the flag games are Allegiance's strongest game type. They have an overall, you know, all the maps combined, about a 60% win rate over Enigma6's 50% win rate.
Yeah, and that's because they're just such a well-rounded team. They're built for objective. They're built for CTF. Contra, Devin, big-time Slayers. Heinz, big-time objective support player, can also do his own at slaying. And then you have Ryu, very well-rounded player at the same time in his respect, but probably one of the most aggressive players in all of Halo that I've ever seen when it comes to running the flag.
And of course, Contra here with the Rockets, now playing this really slow. Heinz picking up a quick double kill, so good opportunity to push up. That's going to be 3 dead now here for Enigma6. Contra looking to push in and start trying to pick off some of these spawners with these rockets.
Really nice rocket. Everybody for the side of E6 should be spawning on that elbow. Contra has 2 rockets, but the thing is Hugh over at the other side of the map pulling the flag, running it towards the elbow. So super annoying play coming out from Hugh, and I really like how they're playing this one. Sometimes this is what you got to do, and he even slow plays it because they knows that the other team has rockets. So love the play coming out from Hugh, putting Contra in a little bit of a position that he doesn't want to be in, even landing a nice nade on him as well. Almost playing this one to perfection, Kyle, and he ends up getting the kill and continues to run the flag.
And yeah, what doesn't make sense to me is E6 was in terrible position, and somehow Hook does amazing things and gets the flag out.
Well, that's exactly what you got to do. If the other team is running the flag snipe side, you got to somehow miraculously run it towards the scatter shot and try to run it towards the elbow, and that's exactly what Hugh did. We're at a standoff at this point. The flag does have to be at home to score, and keep in mind, in these type of standoffs, whoever wins the standoff usually is in a pretty good position to run the next flag, because that means that you had to pretty much have everybody dead, and then you have to be at their base to return the flag, which means that another flag should be coming shortly. So whoever wins this will have a huge advantage going in.
Yeah, and you don't really see players just let a flag return happen in a standoff, so everyone's essentially fully committing to go those returns. Contra with great shots in the last second grab, and a return on the other end,
like I
and
said,
a new
look at
flag
Kratos.
being run.
Kratos running the flag again. This one's going to go over down towards the elbow. He's going to ground pound it in, continue to run this one. Once you clear out the base, once you get those kills and you get that return, you're so susceptible. Fortunately for Allegiance, Devonator does have the rockets. Heinz picking up a kill as well. So if they were able to get those slays, however, Hugh does do it. He baits the flag, and I think they still, they will not be able to get that one. So a really nice play from Allegiance to stop that one, but I love the way Kratos played that.
And look, he knows he's got teammates at sniper side of the map. He even knows a player's in cave, but he completely ignores him to run the flag. it looks like it will not pay off in their benefit this time around as Predator picks up several different kills and those protector medals, and now Allegiance has a flag out as well.
Yeah, really nice shots from Devin. Kratos didn't actually know that. We only had the intel that he would actually continue to run the flag, that it would have been a little bit different. I still like the way that he played that one, though, still turning around because he has the pistol in his hand. However, big time for Allegiance now to try to go up 2-1 in the series. I believe they are still running this flag. It could have been reset, though. Yeah, it looks like it was reset.
And now Predeminator here with the sniper rifle as well. So let's take a look at what he is doing. Still got lots of ammo left in this weapon and a DMR as well. Two players trying to push and collapse over here towards the sniper rifle. Good 1v1 battle, and Enigma6 is starting to get the benefit of Predeminator. Kind of questionable position, but I like what he ultimately did, throwing that sniper off the map. With that much ammo left in it, just picking up a trade is not going to be in your best
Yeah,
interest.
it's so close to a headshot. That would have been a sick montage clip, but like you said, I love that he threw the weapon off, ends up spawning and getting a kill too. It's just back and forth here to try to get control of this snipe tower. Shooter gets taken out at the same time. Ryanoob is going to get cleaned up though, so assist going on over to Shooter here. But the thing is even though Allegiance is able to get the snipe control for the most part, you have to be really aware of E6's willingness to run the flag towards the elbow. They're one of the teams, I'd say, most likely to run the flag towards bottom center than anybody else in the league, and I think it's because Kratos just loves going towards the scatter shot area in general.
And Enigma6 quickly pushing out rocket side, starting to grab some more control, and good opportunity to do that when the rockets are in fact spawning. Shooter there grabbing 2 additional kills here. Contra trying to take him out, will in fact pick that one up. It looks like rockets now going in favor of Enigma6 as well.
Yeah, such important, important aspect of Halo is controlling the map, which goes hand in hand with controlling the rockets. And as I was saying before, when you do get the rockets, all you need is someone to go in, grab the flag, and just bait that guy and bait the flag itself. So let's see if Shooter's able to do that. He has full rockets here, using that little ledge to stay alive. Everyone's going to be nading that, though. If he can escape, he can't. Ryan with a really nice nade. That's actually a more difficult nade to land than you would think.
And Boo Boo Doo trying to run away with these rockets. Just watching him for a moment here. Take a look through his screen as nades are blowing up everywhere, but stays alive.
Yeah, typical Boo Boo Doo Boo. That's one of the things he does best. Stay alive, play really sneaky. That's kind of his MO. So nice to see him go back and kind of clear these people out of his base. Now they have to get aggressive that they have numbers. He looks like he wants to make his way towards the snipe side. But the thing is when you are snipe side, you get that cave spawn, which means you continue to push on that snipe area. And the thing is E6, again, though, being so annoying and getting to the elbow. So we're almost in that same situation that we saw in the beginning where they are at the base, but yet someone is still behind them. That's going to be Kratos just being annoying on that area, that blue elbow area.
Ryanoob trying to be sneaky there, but Kratos spots him. He gets hit with a few nades. Kratos picks up the kill, and he's already pushing in, trying to contest this elbow spawn. Nobody from Allegiance being able to collapse on him. You got Predeminator backing up. Looks like Richie Hines is coming back to the base to try and contest as well. Kratos will ultimately end up dropping, but Hook doing some work here now with this SMG.
Yeah, Kratos being just an annoyance. That's pretty much what he's doing. And the thing is when you don't have map control, sometimes it's best if you don't have snipes to just make your way over towards that area and just lay down shots, so they have to allocate some sort of resources to the other side of the map. But you just look at Hugh play, and you can just see that he's on another level when it comes to the map movement, when it comes to just the way that he's reacting to things. He has no hesitation in the way that he plays and ends up getting a killing spree.
And it looks like Kratos now also has these rockets, does pick them up, throw the flag out a little bit further, but I like this play. Double back around, everyone's spawning on elbow, and he's going to get a few quick kills here.
Yeah, if that rocket would have easily been able to kill Devastator, you probably could have got the double kill. Just trying to waste the rockets at that point. Ends up doing a good job of trying to secure that cap. However, Boo Boo Doo Boo does land that headshot on another player that did toss the bottom center. That's going to be Contra, and he's not able to get the headshot on Rhino, who gets the return, so advantage over to Allegiance here. However, Boo Boo Doo Boo just taking faces. Ridiculous double kill. Will he go for a ground pound here? Oh, he doesn't, so he gets the killing spree. If he could have ground pounded for the triple, I would have jumped out of my seat.
And he's going to absolutely get the flag return for his team as well. Just Boo Boo Doo Boo doing ridiculous things, grabs yet another kill, and he's being so aggressive with this sniper. I love to see this out of him. Too many times we see players so passive with that weapon. Now that ends up not working out in his favor this time, but now Contra has given him an opportunity. He only had 2 shots left in that, so not quite as big of a deal as you might initially think. 1 shot left. Is he going to be able to hit this headshot?
This series is living up to all the hype. 1-1 in the series, 1-1 in the game. Advantage to E6 right now when it comes to map control and pulling the flag out. However, Heinz is going to shut that down and take Shooter out as well. Makes his way over here towards top catwalk with the scatter shot. Didn't realize the player was behind him. Kratos doesn't get the back smack. Ends up taking him to no shield. So nice job of technically trading kills there if you are Kratos.
And Hook, great positioning here. This guy's weak above him. May be able to grab this one. He, in fact, does another double kill. Hook making it look just so easy.
Yeah, really nice double kill. Will give them actual map control. They may be able to get the rockets from this. The thing is, they need to get this cave control. They need to get someone to kind of fly in through the window here. Looks like Boo instead is going to pull this one, takes it out the window. That's going to be only 2 players for Allegiance alive to try to stop this one. Everyone should be spawning on the elbow. There are the spawns right there. That's going to be Contra going down to Huke's assault rifle. Another killing spree coming from the #1 fantasy HCS player. He even pulls the flag, tosses it out, and gets it towards the 50-yard line.
And he doesn't get any points for that flag toss, but it is in the best interest of the team to win. Part of the reason this kid is so good, Kratos now with the sniper, he is going to be taking out 2 members of Allegiance to pick up that flag return, but I don't think anybody knows this sniper rifle's down here.
The thing is all of those plays and they still weren't able to get the flag past that 50-yard line. So it's a little worrisome, you know, if you are E6, that Allegiance is able to weather these storms that are coming from Huke and the rest of E6. So you need to make sure that they are securing captures, make sure they are watching the spawns and watching the angles, because that was a really great opportunity for them to capture that flag. Unfortunately, they just couldn't put it all together.
And Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo's got the sniper rifle back here. We'll give Shooter another minute, see if he uses up any of these rockets before we go take a look at what he's got going on. Ryanoob with a great scatter shot as well. Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo missing some no-scopes here, trying to survive with this weapon. He is ultimately going to be taken out. That's going to put the weapon back in the hands of Ryanoob as well. And now the flag being pulled by Predevinator.
Yeah, love the way that Ryanoob's playing this one, backing off, looking for the spawns. They need to communicate that someone is on the elbow. That's going to be Kratos. So Ryanoob, instead of staying in the cave and just looking for spawners, decides that he wants to go over towards catwalk. I do like that play coming from him. That's going to be 3 dead for the side of E6. That's going to be all 4 dead, and that should be the capture. That should be 2-1. Instead of Ryanoob looking for the actual flag cap again after that and just going over into the window, which I thought he was going to do, he goes over towards the cave. So I would have maybe liked to see him be a little bit more aggressive on the objective like he normally is. Either way, either one of those plays would have panned out fine, but I was definitely expecting him to go for the flag.
If he hit that first headshot, I mean, he might have very well been able to create an opportunity for his team to essentially push back across and pick up that 3rd flag cap, maybe take a 2-1 lead here in this series. But now we've got the new rockets up. Nobody from Allegiance in position to contest this. It's going to be free for Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo, and he does not see Predevinator spawn right below him, so kind of lucky spawn there for Predevinator staying alive.
Oh,
and
it's his teammate with a rocket. That was Devinator taking out Huke because he was taken down to no shield. So Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo has that combo in his hand. He's going to sit here and just bait the flag. That's going to be Heinz down there trying to stay alive. Decides that he wants to go over towards the elbow instead. Someone has to pull this flag for E6 because Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo is doing exactly what I was talking about. If you have the rockets, all you have to do is bait that flag. He shouldn't be the one that have to pull this one. He should be slaying at this point. Someone else needed to come and grab that one. So he probably communicated, hey guys, I have rockets. I'm going to go back. I'm going to get this return. And it looks like he does go back to the flag and is going to be able to put this one in. Tied up 2-2. 1-1 in the series, 1 minute left.
And of course, we do have overtime left in this game. It will be the first to 3 captures win. We'll put another 3 minutes on the time if we need to when we reach that point. But we got the T2 combo coming out now.
Oh, I was just going to call it the combo, but if we want to call it the T2 combo, we can. But I love the way that Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo's playing this one. His teammates kind of put him in awkward positions to even do the objective, but he doesn't care. He's just taking out the sniper, getting killing sprees, getting doubles, running the objective at the same time. If he gets this triple kill, I quit, but he doesn't, and he does just toss it out. So really nice play coming out from Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo. Absolutely insane, and this is what you need to do at this point because Allegiance has been able to come back. You've been able to get all these kills, but you haven't been able to get the captures, so at this point you just have to go crazy. Love that play to sit there and toss it up and continue to bait it. However, Contra with a really nice nade.
And Ryanoob trying to contest this, not letting anyone grab it here from Enigma6, but Boo-Boo-Doo-Boo was just doing so much montage
They have
type
to
plays.
capture this in 7 seconds, though. If they don't capture it right now, it's going to be over, but they do. That's going to be E6 taking game number 3, 3-2, going up in the series 2-1. Hugh.
And Tom, take a look at these stats. Hook doing what Hook always does, 31 kills. And that's even more impressive to think that Bubu was on an actual tear to end that game, doing ridiculous things with Sniper and Rocket. So clearly Hook did not have a ton of power weapon control. He was not required to run the flag as much, but we saw him with great objective play as well, and still dropping 31 kills. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and the thing is it was completely back and forth, and I'm not expecting any type of advantage really for E6 besides the fact that they won that game. The rest of the series is going to be extremely close. There is really nothing that you can do when you have Hugh going over towards your elbow, playing it perfectly. You have the rockets, you're looking for him. He's just using his radar or whatever his glass walls that he has or something like that. I don't know. He just knew exactly where Contra was going to do, hit him with 2 perfect nades, still ran that flag out, and that was the difference in that game. And also in the standoff as well, that didn't go in Allegiance's favor. So you got to feel pretty okay for Allegiance that you got outslayed and still only lost that game 3-2 when you could have potentially won it maybe 3-2 or 3-1. So not too worried if I'm an Allegiance fan, just focusing on game 4 now.
Well, I would be a little bit worried because this game 4, like we were touched based on it before, this is Strongholds on the Rig, and they are 6-2. On this game type.
Yep.
So that's a big change of pace. Any one of these game types before, just taking a look at the lineups and what's happened in the past, could have been anybody's game. But if you want to go by statistics, this is going to be Enigma6's time to secure the actual series win.
Yeah, I played these guys in this game type. I was worried that my teammate was going to get goosed at the time. I'm not going to say who it is, but E6 is really great at just strategically rotating and being really aggressive at this game type. So look for them to, not be shy for going for triple caps. Look for them to know exactly how they need to rotate. And like you said, Allegiance, they weren't that worried, but maybe if they knew how good E6 was at this game type, they would be.
Yeah, because obviously this one squeezed through the cracks as far as that veto system and process goes, and Enigma6 has to be happy that they just picked up that victory. Keep in mind, they were down 2-1 in that game and ended up putting in the next 2 flag captures, and it did not actually even go to overtime, so they were able to secure that win in regulation.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of this is going to come down to power-ups and power weapons here. You have the camo, you have the railgun. So really curious to see how this one's going to start off, where people are going to go. We've seen a lot of people on red side not even capturing that BR base, just flooding the basement area and also just fighting for that nest area. So the ideal setups are to hold that area, that nest in that basement, and let's see what happens here.
And we do have the players getting set up in the game. Of course, this is game 4, the Rig Strongholds. It is going to be 100 points to win, and just constant back and forth. We saw teams rotate, trying to get basement, trying to get yard almost instantly. So kind of like on Plaza, where if you feel like you don't have control, you just immediately run and try to recapture yard. You see the same thing here, it being the BR base being treated essentially as yard as well. We haven't seen a lot from Ryan here yet to start, so we'll go ahead and take a look through his eyes, and immediately pushing to nest with Richie Hines, trying to contest this nose. There's a barrel behind him, does not want to get blown up by that thing, so quickly takes it out. Now Kratos, as you can see here, he was the one to secure camo off the start.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of where Hines is currently located. I feel like he's in a pretty poor position considering everybody else went towards the basement. So unless he plans on capturing BR and still defending nest, nothing's really going to happen. But that's going to be Kratos with the camo, getting that back smack onto Hines, and if they can add pressure to this BR base, they may be able to triple cap. However, they will have the ideal setup of that nest and that basement in a little cheeky spot here coming from Kratos. That nade would have done more damage than he wished he would have done a little bit more damage. However, that's going to be Contra coming in, get the reset. It's up to Huke now to be able to capture this nest. Meanwhile, Allegiance taking basement.
I mean, I liked what we saw to Kratos there. A little bit of a better placed grenade would have absolutely secured them essentially a double kill and nest control, but Huke still there, ready to clean up the kills, picks off Predevinator, the top of his head there as he tries to crouch and use those railings to his advantage, but already triple cap in favor of Enigma6.
Yeah, E6 in a really prime position. It's so hard to come back from the triple cap, especially when you don't have anything like the camo or the railgun to worry about. 45 seconds for the next railgun. It's pretty much just E6 constantly rotating, looking for when Allegiance is going to go into whatever stronghold that is. So Boobadooboo going to choke the spawns, probably calling out to his teammates where they're spawning. They do have the intel that everyone's coming from barrels. Keep in mind, once Boobadoo does collapse on this, the rest of Allegiance is going to spawn behind him. So most likely going to try to go for that BR base to try to stop the bleeding, we can expect them to try to rotate here if we can get this kill onto Devin, and they do. It looks like instead of spawning at BR base, they got the open field spawn at the same time, so split spawns in the favor of Allegiance. If they can use this to their advantage, they can at least stop some sort of bleeding.
And look at this. Just all 4 members of this team know exactly how to play it. You've got Boo in tower, essentially watching BR base, yet still assisting his team on preventing Nest from being captured. He is ultimately going to be taken out right as that new railgun comes up, and now we've got BR base falling back into favor of Allegiance.
Yeah, Camo is up. That's going to be Contra getting taken down. Really nice Spartan charge coming from Kratos, pushing him off the map and still finishing him off at the same time. Going to turn around, try to fight Devin. Devin with the thrust is going to take him out with the battle rifle, but 58-5 and still growing for E6.
And no one in position yet to get this basement. You get 2 members there and another one in hiding above barrel, so that will fall in their hands. But as you can see on the player or on the map here, BR base now is going back to Enigma6. You've got Predeminator trying to go contest that, but you've got 2 members of Enigma6 working to actually secure it. Another 1v1. Now this is going to be big. He is not going to be able to pick up the kill. Ryan Noob is going to be able to take him out and has the new railgun as well. So absolutely Allegiance opportunity to start closing this gap.
Yeah, nice job by Ryan Noob coming in there with the railgun. He's pretty much the key to Allegiance's comeback at this point. He needs to at least go huge or at least pick up a couple kills here in order to stop this basement charge. There's one player that gets taken down. It looks like he's going to try to contest this. Has help from Devin. That's 2 down. Cody Contra trying to take that nest. Meanwhile, I think that was Shooter trying to stop him off. And here's the first triple cap of the game for Allegiance.
And this will quickly help them bring this point differential to a close here. Still 1 shot left in the railgun. He's going to switch to his pistol, try to assist his teammates here. All 4 members of Enigma6 are currently in BR base. No Camel for another minute or so. They're trying to push out, but they need to make sure they do this together. As soon as one player drops, look for either one of these teams to just collapse.
Yeah, Ryan Noob in a little bit of a poor position here because Devin did just die. So he's not really doing much with the railgun by just sitting in the spot, because the railgun guy needs to be kind of in white corner or just doing some sort of work. Yeah, he's locking down the barrel side of the map. It's good, but someone else could be in that same position doing just as good of a job here. So I want to see him kind of rotate, get out of that spot, and I'm glad to see him at least make some moves here with it.
And as soon as Enigma6 gets in position to try to capture that nest was when Ryan really started pushing out. Now he is going to take it over to that white hull, just like you said, Tom, and no shields player. I'm surprised he threw that nade instead of being ready to shoot. However, still 1 shot left in this weapon. That new camo just goes into the hands of Boo Boo Doo Boo's trying to survive with it. Gets taken weak, but Hook challenging.
Ooh, very rarely do you see Hugh get outshot like that. Ryan Noob trying to clutch it for his team. I don't know if the camo guy did go down, so let's see if Boo Boo Doo Boo still has that one. He does have it, and he's sitting there over at the BR base. So let's see what Boo Boo Doo Boo can do with this camo. Meanwhile, Ryan Noob with the railgun at the same time. So not really sure where Boo Boo Doo Boo ended up sneaking with that one. It looks like he snuck off the map with it. So Ryan Noob knows that at least one person is down, but he gets taken out with a nade. So big kill from Shooter.
And we should have probably gone on board. I would have loved to see him jump off the map there, but railgun down and now in the hands of Shooter. We've talked about this player time and time before. He is the in-game leader here for Enigma6, and I'd love to see what he has in store, considering Allegiance just brought this back and tied it up.
Yeah, just as important as Ryan was when he had the railgun. Shooter in a very similar position, especially when they can't really stop this bleeding here. Does miss that railgun onto Devin, possibly getting the ninja, doesn't get the double melee. Devin with a nice crouch shot will be able to take him down, and it looks like finally Allegiance loses their setup, but gets it right back all of a sudden, and they're capping.
And that railgun now going in the hands of Kratos. You got Hook with no shields just flying out, contesting. He gets dropped by Ryan Noob. Kratos barely missing that, shooting it through that guy's legs. He spread his legs for that one and dodged it, but Kratos still moving around and good positioning. Essentially, he is going to be spotted, however.
Yeah, not really sure what he was meleeing there. Not really a big fan of where he's located because you can just be shown on radar from so many different levels. So Allegiance going to be able to make their way into the basement. Looks like Devin needs to try to get in there and try to help. You can still fight this guy and help at the same time, but no one's able there to contest. Meanwhile, the side of E6, they're trying to sit there and take the nest. That's Boo Boo Doo Boo. It was a sliver away. They did not get the kill in time. However, they are going to try to double cap this one. Super close game, back and forth, just like all series long.
And if he had hit, Shooter had hit that railgun, he might have been able to take 2 to 3 players weak. If he shot it just a little bit higher, that's going to put control back in favor of Allegiance. He needs to be able to take out the Devonator and get this reset.
Not a big fan of Devin sitting there trying to capture the BR base. I'm not even sure if they know that camo should be up soon or if anyone picked it up. I'm going to be scrolling through over here to see if anyone was able to grab that one. It looks like that's Huke with the camo, so that camo should be around the 40 area, and Huke's making his way over towards that nest. Hines with the huge kill, taking out Huke. That was absolutely imperative, taking out the camo guy.
And kind of uncharacteristic mistake from Huke, but at the very same time, if they can go back over to BR base and try to contest this triple cap will propel them to victory.
The problem is once you get put on that spawn cycle and you're getting triple capped on, you're only going to have one more push after this. Fortunately, someone somehow got over to Nest there for the side of Allegiance, so if that guy can stay alive, that's going to be Devin. He's fighting Huke on that side of the map. It's a sliver away. That's going to be Contra finishing that one off, so that's pretty big. If they're able to defend this Nest and have a little poor man set up, they may be able to put E6 in an awkward position.
But 2 members of Allegiance, or excuse me, of Enigma6, and almost 3 here, securing that one. Boopadooboo knows that BR base is also being captured by his team. Potential triple cap, but Basement actually falling to Allegiance as well, but only one opportunity left to grab a hill, and no one is doing it yet.
I thought that was a little bit of a misplay coming from the side. I think it was Ryan that spawned on the carbine and decided he was going to sprint right over towards the basement instead of just throwing the nades off the wall to get those guys out of Nest. He could have easily just got those guys that were just sitting there and just bounced the nades off the wall to try to keep them out of there, and then went towards the basement, had the basement nested up, potential triple cap, and instead that's going to go over to E6.
And a few more seconds in that game, I think we would have seen an overkill here out of Boopadooboo. Great rotation, bouncing the nades there. He does pick up 2. I think Huke assisted him on one of those kills. No surprise here. And look at these stats. Huke and Shooter leading the pack at 18. Boopadooboo and Kratos both at 13 kills, and consistent captures across the board here for Huke, Boopadooboo, and Kratos.
Yeah, again, like you said, that's one of their stronger game types. Allegiance showing some, real fight in them. They brought it back. They were down so much in that game that, look at this, 55-5, now 62-7, and they ended up bringing it back. It was tied at like 70s, and this is kind of where it started. Ryan helping over at the BR base, then getting that railgun coming around and clearing out these basement areas. It's just they weren't able to continue to hold this up, and they weren't able to get the pushes as a team.
And not only that, but considering that this was a Strongholds game type, Strongholds, Enigma6 is the strongest team at these game types. They have the highest win rate across all of the maps that they've been playing. So, like I said before this game, not too big of a deal necessarily that they ended up falling in game 2. But considering that game 4 was a Strongholds, you really need to be able to pick up another win earlier.
Yeah, I agree. And there you can see the entire series 3-1 in the favor of E6. Allegiance, they have to win out, and they need a lot of help. They need Renegades, I believe, to lose the rest of their matches, and they need to win the rest of their matches on the side of Allegiance in order to make it into that top 4 spot. So that series was really big for Allegiance, and even pretty big for E6 to come out and make a statement in winning 3-1. I would say that was a pretty convincing victory overall.
And taking a look at those stats, 137, that was the real only kind of blowout game. Everyone else was so close. But we do have Kratos here from Enigma6 joining us for this conversation here. Kratos, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, Straight Rippin'?
Not too much. First of all, congratulations with another victory. You guys come out looking just so strong yet again. Now that game 2, you guys fell short there. Tell us a little bit how this series played out for you.
I mean, game 1, I'm pretty sure we destroyed them pretty bad, and then game 2, I don't know. We're playing so hectic, and they got a huge lead. We brought it back towards the end, and I don't know. I that was my fault. I lost that game. Then we just flag game. That's one of their stronger game types. Devin's a savage on that map, and Ryan and Hines are really aggressive. I don't know. I felt like we were close to losing that a few times, but we brought it back. Boo Boo was going ham. Like, he was going off with power weapons, and, Hugo does his thing, and Shooter was just making the right plays, and we clutched up with that, and we knew we would win the other Strongholds.
Yeah, and you guys are one of the, I think, if not the strongest Strongholds team in all of the HCS Pro League. So if you maybe had some tips or pointers to give out, to maybe newer players that makes you guys so strong at Strongholds, what would that be?
don't die to stop a hill that you can't stop. That's the biggest
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think that really what sets the great teams apart from the lesser teams is the ability to just keep map control without having to desperate towards the end. So have you seen any shift of the actual strategy, seeing the fact that the strongholds have moved, or do you feel like the meta's kind of stayed the same?
No, from season one, the season one maps to season two maps, it completely changed because in season one I felt like it was more of like a set. All the strongholds were like mostly setups, and now I feel like you can control any two hills on any of the maps now. So that just changed the rotations and stuff.
I think that's a really good point. The meta really has evolved, and of course, with all the game types and settings changing as well, that is something that actually plays a big factor as well. Now, you said Boopoo Dooboo was, in fact, going off with that sniper. We had him on stream a lot as well, hitting some crazy no-scopes and things. What does he individually do once that starts happening and he starts catching fire? You know, he's always calm and relaxed, I feel like, on stream. What's it like in-game?
Definitely that game. I mean, Boo Boo's our playmaker. You know, we count on him to like do crazy stuff. You know, we know what we're gonna get out of Hugh. We know what we're gonna get out of Shooter. I'm kind of random. I can like go neg 10 or plus 10 sometimes. But when Boo Boo's destroying that bad, like all you hear him is just screaming, "I got him! I got him! I got him!" Like I don't know. That's all I heard that game towards the end, and we won.
Yeah, in that CTF Coliseum game, we saw some really big plays coming out from you guys from the elbow side of the map, which is pretty rare because typically people want to hold the snipe side. So how much do you guys believe in just the situational awareness and just kind of adjusting to what's given to you?
Yeah, I was just trying to. I don't know. They were doing a really good job at like controlling scatters and power weapons on our snipe side. So when they were up 2-1, we were like really struggling. So I just try to get like bottom mid or get to their elbow, and then as soon as we pick one or two, then that's when we just ran a flag or whatever.
Were you guys aware of how much this match meant to Allegiance, and were you guys thinking, this means just as much, if not more, to us because you know how much they're trying to fight to get into that fourth spot, playoff spot that Renegades currently holds?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that if we lost, we still had like a really good chance of still qualifying. Uh, but if we won, we were 100% in. I know they're like, I don't even know what has to happen for them to qualify now, but I wish Allegiance did qualify because they are a way better LAN team. Contra and Devin don't try online, and they're just nasty on LAN. And Allegiance, I helped build that, and I would like to see them do good.
All right. And since I always love hearing your opinion, you're always so outspoken, what do you think about the two gooses that we've seen here this week?
Who was it? Denoxide and
And APG just picked one up.
Yeah.
And have you goosed before?
Yeah, I've goosed once against Renegades back in the day.
Ooh, H5?
Yeah, but yeah, in H5.
What game type?
Truth flag.
Okay, it happens.
It could be a quick one.
Yeah. I mean, Denoxide, I mean, that's just him being immature, him sleeping all day long and getting on within 1 minute of the match. Like, that's just being a child. And then APG, I mean, they're just outclassed by CLG, so, I mean, it happens, I guess.
And you were talking about LAN in the previous question. Now, when it comes to LAN, you guys have a little bit faltered, looking at that PAX tournament. Is that something that you guys are really going to focus on? What are you guys going to do to ensure that you're bringing your A game, just like you are right now, to those playoffs?
Ever since we picked up our coach Showtime, I feel like we've just been like on point, like our communication, and that's what was wrong in PAX. Like we didn't know our true identities yet, and like we were just figuring each other out still. But like once we picked up Showtime, he like is just helping us so much with the communication and telling us what to do in some situations. That I mean, even online when he's not coaching us compared to when he is coaching us, it's like a huge difference.
What are some of the other things that he's doing, though? I'm curious, is he breaking it down, when it comes to the beginning strats and things like that? Because when you really take a look at the beginning of the games in Halo 5, they mean so much more than previous Halos.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team looks at other teams' beginning strats, but you can't really get pulled that much from it because, like us, like we just do random stuff in Pro League and random stuff in scrims. Because if you do the same thing, people will catch on and try to do something. And I feel like some teams do that, so you can't. If you put all your eggs into a team doing a strat, then you're screwed. So like what he does for us is like tells us like who's playing good, what they like to do on maps, what they like to control, you know, and I mean that's way more important than a start off.
Well, lots of great truths there from you, Kratos, and I want to thank you again for joining us on another successful win here from your squad. Tell the rest of your team we said hello, and best of luck next week as well.
All right, thank you guys.
And of course, if you want to participate and join in on the conversation as well, you can always tweet at us using the hashtag HCS, at HCS, or even at ESL Halo. So make sure you participate in that. We'll be checking those tweets out throughout the show here. Tom and I will be taking a look at it tonight afterwards as well. And of course, don't go anywhere because we still have one more match here tonight, and we'll be back right after this.